Greetings and welcome back. All right, I am in search of a stable mid-range, and I have two discs here I'm going to compare. I've got the Lucid Glimmer Justice. The Justice comes in at a speed 5, glide 1, a turn of plus 0.5, and a fade of 4. Comparing it to the Verdict, this is a Lucid Glimmer Verdict as well. This Verdict is a speed 5, glide 4, so it should stay in the air a lot longer than the Justice. A turn of 0 and a fade of 3.5, so still very stable. Can tell you right off the bat that the Justice is a much flatter disc, and this Verdict has a little bit more of a dome, which probably contributes to that glide. All right, let's check it out, see which one I should bag. All right, here we go. Justice versus the Verdict. You can get these at dynamicdiscs.com. We're going to start off here with a couple just warm-up shots, throwing them flat. And you can see right away that fade on the Verdict. Listed as 3.5. This one gets a little bit of air underneath of it, and it shows its teeth. Now we're going to be throwing the Justice. Very interested in the difference between these two, one being a 4 glide and one being a 1, the Justice being a 1. So let's just get this out of the way. Anheuser release. And can't really get an Anheuser with it. I'm getting into this pretty good, and that is how stable that disc is. It, pulled itself out and faded all the way back to the left. Now here's the Justice. The first two are the Verdict, and this is the Justice, and it's even harder to get over. Now, as far as consistency is concerned, the Justices landed right next to each other, and the Verdicts got further, maybe for the glide, and the one Verdict a little bit further to the left. Now, here's a typical upshot. There wasn't much wind, but it's a little bit of a breeze. About a 200-foot shot. Throwing these Verdicts, I'm not really playing their line very well. Really needed to land a little bit more to the right to skip it up. And the Justice here, after throwing those shots, played the Justice a little bit better, as you'll see in the next frame here. Laid up with them. Definitely useful to have a disc that wants to get to the ground. I did not used to understand that, but now I do. All right, here's forehands. Wanted to see if you could throw forehands with these. I'm not a very good forehander. I have a functional forehand. So just to see if it takes the torque resistance, you can see that Verdict got over a little bit there. But you can see it stretched out a little bit and had a little bit of extra glide. Throwing the Justice here on exactly the same line, or trying to mimic that same exact line, you can see the Justice is more stable, and it has that positive 0.5 turn, so it wanted to get to the right off that flick, and the Verdict was just a little bit easier to play that flex shot. And here we go with some measured shots. So how far can you throw a super stable mid-range? So I'm really just working to try to get it as straight as I can, try to turn it over if I can. And the first one here, I got to 272 feet. What I didn't think was bad, got it over pretty good. This one I get a hold of a little bit more. I think I get a little bit more air underneath of it and get it over just a tiny bit. And it gets to 300 feet according to the U-disc measurement. And you can judge for yourself in a second. I think I do a clip of where all the discs landed. And here is the Justice. Did not think I'd be able to get too much out of this. And it's so stable. It just wants to get to the left and wants to get down to the ground. 260 feet on that shot. I'm gonna throw another one here, and it's a pretty similar result. I think I threw this one a little bit higher, but it really gets close to the other one, just a couple feet further, I think. But definitely a very consistent line if you can develop that shot, just to sit there and keep, be able to use that line. Here you have a look at where the discs landed. That one verdict got pretty far. This one was a little bit lower. I think it would have been pretty close. And both Justices. Here you have a look at the bottom. The verdict is definitely a little bit more domey. Justice is very flat. Definitely a couple interesting stable mid-ranges. And I think after trying them, I'm probably going to try to use the verdict. Well, that's all I have for this one. And we'll see you on the next comparison review.